everybody. The lesson for today, we did similes and metaphors yesterday. We are going to do alliteration. We've done this already this year, but again, just to remind you of some important things while we are writing and how to make it better. So alliteration, you guys did the ice cream cones. So you could have done chocolatey chunk surprise. No, I don't know. I just made that up. Anyway, alliteration is when you use the same sound in a whole bunch of words. So if I was to do Zacker zippity zing, if I was naming something, or the dogs dashed diligently. It's the same sound in everything that I make. And alliteration is really cool to use to make your writing strong, and especially for like titles or commercials or any kind of different thing to really draw the reader to it. When things sound the same, it just sounds a lot cooler. So just to explain what alliteration is, I have this little poster here. So alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of words in a sentence, phrase, line, or a poem. It doesn't have to be every word, just two or more. So an example, Bobby Bear bakes birthday cakes. I love it. I love the sounds all together. So here's some lines down here. Baby Bobby Bear, B's. Singing silly songs, all starts with S. Daringly dances, all day long. So it was kind of a little mix of different sounds there and different letters in alliteration. So just remember, with alliteration, it's all the same sounds. So usually 2 to 3 words all have the same sound. So just to remind you of some different things with alliteration, I know it probably seems pretty easy, but we just need to remember usually 2 or more words within the title or whoever you're using is using the same sound. Now, don't always think it's going to be the same letter. So just some examples. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, right? All the P. Did you notice how the P? Yes. So just some examples in here. Alliterations does not have to start with the same letter. You guys are smart enough in 4th grade. Come time know that C and S sometimes both make the S sound. So C and S, sing city, song circles. They all make the S sound. Or C and K, kangaroo cap, king cousin. Just because they're K's and C's doesn't matter. They still make the same sound. G and J, gem, jump, gem, jig. See? The PH and the F, pharmacy, fantasy, photo, and fish. So there are a few examples that you can use different letters, but still have the same sound. So one thing that I was kind of interesting that I talked about before, you guys, usually some very popular brands, they use alliteration because it sparks your interest, like PayPal, Coca-Cola, American Airlines, Krispy Kremes, Best Buy. So these popular places, they kind of want you to remember them. So they use alliteration in their titles. Maybe some restaurants do that too. So if you can think of that, and for part of your assignment today will be to make some menu items using alliteration. Now we're going to look at some alliteration in a couple little videos on YouTube. So I think we've actually watched some of these before, but again, it's been a while, so we will try and remember these and remember they use alliteration, the same sound repeated over and over again.
Chimney, chim, chim, chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim, chimney, chim, chimney, chim, chim, chiroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Or blow me a kiss, and that's lucky too.
Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps.
There's no one as burly and brawny.
As you see, I've got biceps to spare.
Not a bit of him scraggly or scrawny.
That's right.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess.
So if we pause this here, just some examples of alliteration that we saw. Shining, shimmering, splendid. So it all has the S in this one. With Gaston, gosh, Gaston, down in the dumps, burly, brawny, and then scraggly and scrawny. So same song. And then down in this one, chim, chimmery, chim, that held the same ch sound in each song. So there are actually many different examples of alliteration that you may see in commercials and movies. So those are just a few. You guys are going to make your own menu, pretend you own a restaurant using alliteration. So just an example that I found of a kid who found one on YouTube or on Google Images. They made a menu and their menu item used alliteration in each thing. So the appetizer at their restaurant was messy mozzarella meatballs. As you notice, alliteration using the letter or sound of M. Breakfast, they had wiggly whipped waffles. For lunch, it was stacked stinky sandwiches. For dinner, it was super slimy steak. I like how some of these are funny. Dessert was a marshmallow mud shake. And for a drink, you could have a jumping jellyfish juice. So just think of some cool examples when you make your menu. When you log into your Google Classroom, we'll be under week 7, and the assignment is called Alliteration Menu. As we always read the directions, complete the menu. Pretend you're making your own restaurant. Make sure every item uses alliteration. Now, I just need 2 or more, so at least 2 words using alliteration. So you'll open it up, and your menu will come up. The first thing I want you to do is name your restaurant. Okay, you can use your first name, or you can use whatever you want. If you just want to call it Bob's Burgers, whatever you want. Maybe I'd name it Caitlin's Kooky Cuisine. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So rename your restaurant to whatever you'd like. I need 3 main dishes. Anything you want. If it's burgers, pastas, lasagnas, steaks, noodles, whatever you want. Think of that. Any sides. Maybe you want terrific tots, fancy fries. 3 desserts. You could have icy ice cream. I don't know. Busterous brownies. And 2 drinks. Muddy milk, fizzy Fanta. So you're just thinking of a few, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items on your menu that you are going to turn in. Make sure you use alliteration. It can be a different letter for each one. It doesn't matter. Just get creative. So as always, if you have any questions, let me know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with your menu.